For years, intrauterine devices, or the female contraceptive commonly referred to as an IUD, they've received a bad rap for their reported side effects such as pelvic inflammatory disease and even infertility. Now, a new study published in the College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists says the risks are not as high as previously thought. Joining us with more on this is Dr. Jacques Moritz. Dr. Moritz, thank you so much for being here today.
Good for being here.
So the IUD is back, so to speak.
It's back. It's been back, but this recommendation from our college is really going to be great for it, because in the past this was really designed in the U.S. for women that already had babies. So the new change is that it's open for everyone.
For everyone.
Right.
Even young women.
Even young women.
All right.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about the big changes in the IUD. Why is it considered?
So, you know, I think I was thinking about it. It's almost like the Ford Explorer that had gas tanks blowing up. There was an IUD that was terrible. It was in the 70s and 80s, and that's off the market. After that IUD, no one used an IUD. Doctors didn't put them in. No one used it. They got rid of that. They changed the design, went back to the older design, and now it's going to be one of the most popular birth control devices in the world, I think.
And yet some of the myths linger associated with the IUD.
Right. And women say, I don't want something foreign in my body, this idea that I'm walking around with something. But here's the facts. Half of all pregnancies are unwanted. And half of the unwanted ones were people that were on contraception. This works. You don't have to remember to take it. It's almost fail-safe. Listen to the numbers. The IUD is between 0.8 to 0.9 failure rate, which is super low. You take the birth control pill under what's called typical use. 9 out of 100 women can get pregnant on it. Now, there's ideal use where everyone doesn't forget to take the pill at all. That works perfect. But you know, ideal and real use, oh, I forgot my pills at home, or I didn't forget, I missed 3 days or 4 days. In real life, that's it. So, condom failures, all that. If we can avoid that, that'd be fantastic.
So, explain then how the IUD works. I know you brought two with you. You brought an older model and a newer model.
This is the older one, which, God, this has been used for probably 100 years. This is called the Copper T, or the Paragard. It has copper, you can see. The copper sets up an inflammatory reaction. It does not cause an abortion every month. It basically kills the sperm as soon as the sperm comes to the cervix. So the sperm can't go any further. The new model, this is called the Mirena, and this green has a little bit of hormone, very, very slight amount of hormone that makes periods very light or non-existent, and great for people that have heavy periods. It's actually being used even to prevent hysterectomies from people that have heavy periods. So it can give you 2 bangs for the buck. It can give you contraception, and it can control your periods.
And what about the older one? What effect does that have on
the older one? When you first put it in, you can get a heavier period for the first 3 months. I would say, if anyone tells me, oh my God, I have heavy periods, I'd stay away from this one and go to the...
Well, who would you advise the old... Is there anyone that should use the old?
Oh, yeah. A lot of women don't want any hormone in their body whatsoever. It's a great form. There is no hormone in here whatsoever. There is a very small amount. Some people are very sensitive to hormones, and they may notice it. So this would be the wrong one for them. So you have to just pick.
What can some people notice when they have a little bit of hormone? Weight gain? Or?
It's interesting. The IUD, the Mirena, can cause sometimes ovarian cysts, sometimes some breast tenderness, not so much weight gain, but a little bit of bloating and all that. It's really unusual, but certain people are sensitive to it.
Right. Now, can you show us how it works exactly?
So the other thing is, people perceive this to be very painful going in. It's really, obviously I've never had one put in, but I've put in hundreds and hundreds of these. If you've had a child, this should go in almost like the pap smear. You should just be talking and say, are you done? I'm done. When you haven't had a child, you usually give a little bit of medicine to relax somebody, or you can give a little local anesthesia. And basically what happens is, you put it in here like this, and you pull back on it, and it deploys, and it stays right up here, and then it comes out. And that's it. And then you cut the string.
You cut the string.
I'm not going to cut the string.
And you can take it out anytime.
You can take it out anytime. People say, oh, it's going to take me a while to get pregnant next month. Not that you're going to get pregnant, but you can get pregnant right away. And also, how long does it take to work? You put it in, it starts working immediately.
It's good to go. And how long can you leave it in?
Different ones. The old one, you can leave in up to 10 years.
Wow.
The new one for 5 years, maybe even 7, but right now
Right,
5.
5 years.
Right.
Now, are there any side effects that you would caution?
The major side effects. So in the past, everyone was worried about pelvic infections. If you really look at the research, especially the newer one, it may actually prevent infections by making this mucus very, very thick to prevent infections. It's not recommended in people with abnormal PAPs that haven't been worked out. It is not recommended in women that have multiple partners. Again, going back to the old days, the risk of inflammation and things like that. So you want to put it in usually monogamous women. But great for people in their 20s that didn't think about this and have problems. I couldn't take the birth control every day. I can't remember anything. So for someone who says, I keep on forgetting my pill, I don't know where I put them and all that, I got you.
Right.
I can't even take my stuff. So this is a great form of contraception.
Except that there are some women in their 20s who are not ready to be monogamous.
That's in Europe, that's not a recommendation.
Right.
In this country, it is.
Okay,
Right.
so it's something you talk to your doctor about.
Right.
All right, very interesting, and it's inexpensive, correct?
You said that. I didn't say that.
No?
It's insurance should cover it. This bad boy is $800. This is about $500. But think about it: 5 years, 12 months divided by that, it comes out to about $10 a month, cheaper than the pill.
That's right.
Cheaper, and this one, for 10 years, much cheaper than the pill.
All right, Dr. Jock Moritz, thank you so much for
problem.
telling us about the IUD's comeback.
Comeback.
And for more health and wellness news, log on to the health page at abcnews.com.